Hey everybody, it's Paige, and today's video is going to be my February wrap-up. So I'm going to go through all of the books that I read during the month of February, give you guys my star ratings and just kind of my thoughts on the books. There will be no spoilers in today's video, so you don't have to worry about that. I will have all of these books linked down below in the description box in case you guys want to check any of them out. I will also have my Goodreads linked down below so you guys can add me as a friend. But anyway, if you guys are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy, and let's go ahead and get started. So this is actually the last video that I am filming in this setup at Alicia and Cameron's house. If you guys didn't know, we are moving. My boyfriend and I are moving into a house. We are renting a house and we are so excited, and move-in day is actually tomorrow, but I had to sit down and film this video before I packed up all of my background and filming stuff because it's already March 3rd and I need to film my February wrap-up. So let's dive in. We started off the month with The Legacy by Elle Kennedy. I read some of this in February and then I finished it off in March, which is why, no, this is wrong. I read most of this in January and I finished it in February, so I'm just including it in this month because I think I had like 100 pages or like 50 pages left. So this is a February book for me, and I rated this 4 stars. This is the 5th book in the Off-Campus series. I loved the Off-Campus series. However, this was my least favorite book from the series. I still loved it. I definitely would say you still should read this book if you are reading the series, but I don't know. I think I was just expecting more or something different and wasn't given that. So yeah, it was still a great book. Definitely would recommend it. 4 out of 5 stars. The other books in the series all got 5 stars. So yeah, and I'm pretty generous with my star ratings, just so you guys know. 5 stars is I loved it. 4 stars is I really liked it and it was great and I would recommend it. 3 stars is like it was okay, like maybe I would recommend it, maybe not. 2 stars is like it was terrible but I finished it, and then 1 star would be couldn't even finish it, it was so bad, which I've never rated a book 1 star before because I feel like that's kind of unfair to like not finish a book and then rate it. I don't know. Anyway, The Legacy, 4 stars. It was really good and I feel like it was a good way to start off the month. I'm pulling up my book template to confirm my reading order because I kind of already forgot. If you guys aren't following me on Instagram, you should, because I make these book templates and you can track the books that you read throughout the month. So I just made one for March and I posted it. It's in my Instagram story highlights. It's called Book Templates, and I did a little like tutorial on how to use them because I had so many questions asking how to like add the books onto the screenshot. So I did one for January, February, and then I just did one for March. You probably won't be able to see it, but here's what it looks like. So let me look at my February template that I filled out. And if you guys use it, you should tag me because I get so excited seeing everybody use the template and like update it throughout the month. It's so cool. So the second book I read in February was Finding Cinderella by Colleen Hoover. This was such a good book. This was a 5-star read for me, and this is part of the Hopeless series, and if you guys have not read Hopeless by Colleen Hoover, you need to. It is such a good book. Look up the trigger warnings because it can be very emotionally heavy and deep and sensitive, but it is such a good book and it's part of a series. So you have Hopeless. The second book is called Losing Hope, which a million times I would recommend reading. I would recommend the whole entire series. But it goes Hopeless, Losing Hope, Finding Cinderella is the 3rd book, and this is a novella, so it's pretty short, but this adds so much to the story, and you have to read this to complete the entire series and get the most out of it. I don't want to tell you what this is about because I don't want to ruin anything from Hopeless or Losing Hope, so just trust me, you need to read this series. It's 5 books, well, sort of. It's kind of weird. There's a standalone book that is not part of the series, but you need to read it in a certain order to completely understand the series, if that makes sense. So again, the reading order video will be linked down below. Did I talk about that yet? Did I even mention that, or did I just think about it? I don't know. I have a video about Colleen Hoover and all of her books, reading recommendations, the reading order of everything. I will have that video linked down below to make things easier. I also have everything written out in the description box of that video in text format, so if you don't want to watch the video, you can just check the description box. So anyway, this was fantastic. 100%. I would totally recommend this book and this series. The next book that I read is All Your Perfects by Colleen Hoover, and this is the book that's a standalone, but you're supposed to read this fourth. So Hopeless, Losing Hope, Finding Cinderella, All Your Perfects. So you don't have to read the other books to read this book. It's the way it's connected is interesting, and I cannot tell you how, because that's the whole point of the series. But this is a very good book. This is a very sad and emotionally heavy book as well. Colleen Hoover has a lot of stuff like that in her book, so make sure you guys look up trigger warnings before you read any book, because some of the things that she talks about, some of the themes in the books are very, very, very sensitive topics. So this one was very, I don't know, I was starting off and I was not feeling good. I was like, wow, this book is just making me feel down. It's putting my mood like low, because it's just a very heavy book, and the book is from first person, and you feel the emotions that the character feels. Like, Colleen Hoover is so good at doing that, the good emotions and the bad emotions. So this book, I don't want to say anything else because it's very, very, very intense. This was like the most intense book I think that I've read. I don't know, it was a lot, but it was so good. 5 stars. I loved it. Colleen Hoover does such a good job with just, I don't know. I can't say too much. I can't, because I don't want to give it away, because going in blind is the best thing when it comes to Colleen Hoover books. So All Your Perfects, 5 out of 5 stars. Absolutely incredible. And then the 4th book that I read this month is the final book in the Hopeless series, and this is Finding Perfect. This is another novella, so it's pretty short, and this book just tied everything together for me, and all of the loose ends are just, you know, tied up in a nice pretty bow, and it was great. I loved this. This book made me so happy. It was fantastic. So definitely read Hopeless and Losing Hope first, and then check out these books. My friend Alicia is currently reading All Your Perfects, and then she's gonna read Finding Perfect. She also is obsessed with Hopeless and the Hopeless series, so I actually let her borrow these books, but then I just took them back from her so I could film this video. So anyway, the 5th book. I read 6 books this month, by the way, so that's pretty good for me. That's like really, really good for me. The 6th book I read was actually the first book that I ever read. I am saying too many numbers and getting myself confused. The 5th book that I read in the month of February was the first book that I read on my Kindle. So I got a Kindle for Christmas. It's the Paperwhite something, I don't know. It just came out in October, if that helps. I don't know what generation or version or what this is, but I have a Kindle and I know it's Paperwhite. So I actually received an ARC, and this was my first ARC ever, and I freaked out because it's from one of my favorite authors of all time, and that would be Tessa Bailey. I love Tessa Bailey so much. Her and Colleen Hoover are my top 2 authors. I just love them, and I love their books. I love their personalities. I follow them on social media. They are both just fantastic. So I will pop up a photo right here of the cover so that you guys can see it in its full colorful glory. I don't know how to get back to the beginning of a book on my Kindle. So like I'm like, you know, the end, and then I press next and it's like the author's note, but like I don't know how to, like, I can exit out, but I don't know how to get back to the beginning, which is why I can't show you the cover on my Kindle, because I don't know how to do that. So if you guys know how to do that, let me know in the comments. But I read My Killer Vacation by Tessa Bailey, and it was so good. It was so good, you guys. This is a spicy murder mystery. I know it sounds a little interesting. I hadn't heard of this concept before, but oh my goodness. So I will read you the blurb that is on Goodreads because I can't really say anything about it other than what is already on the internet for you guys. So it says, an all-new spicy murder mystery from Tessa Bailey, New York Times bestselling author of It Happened One Summer. If you guys haven't read It Happened One Summer, you need to go read it. The second book just came out. It's called Hook, Line, and Sinker, and I just got it in the mail yesterday, so I can't wait to read that. But anyway, we have two POVs here. We have the two main characters' POVs. So the first one says, it was supposed to be a relaxing vacation in sweet sunny Cape Cod, just me and my beloved brother, but discovering a corpse in our rental house really throws a wrench in our tanning schedule. Now a rude, crude bounty hunter has arrived on the back of his motorcycle to catch the killer and refuses to believe I can be helpful despite countless hours of true crime podcast listening, not to mention a fulfilling teaching career of wrangling second graders. And then we have the second POV, and it says, I'm just here to do a job, not babysit an amateur sleuth, although it is becoming less and less of a hardship to have her around. Sure, she's stubborn, distracting, and can't stay out of harm's way. She's also brave and beautiful and reminds me of the home I left behind 3 years ago. In other words, the painful hunger and protectiveness she is waking up in me is a threat to my peace of mind. Before I sink any deeper into this dangerous attraction, I need to solve this murder and get back on the road. But will fate take her from me before I realize the road has been leading to her all along? So there is the back of the book, essentially, and it's a dual POV book. You have the teacher and the bounty hunter, and it is so good. It's spicy, it's entertaining. I love the tension between the characters in this book. It was phenomenal. So 5 stars. Definitely pre-order this book. Pick this book up when it comes out. I don't care, but just buy this book. Again, I will have the link down below for the pre-order. I'm pretty sure you can pre-order it now, but it's so good. It is so freaking good. I love it. I love it so much. And then the final book that I read this month is The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. This was my first Lauren Asher book. She also wrote the Dirty Air series, which is very popular on YouTube and TikTok. But the Dreamland Billionaire series recently released its first and second book. So this was the first book, and the second book just came out this month. I did pre-order that as well, and I received it a few days ago, and I cannot wait to read that. That one is called Terms and Conditions. So basically the series is about 3 brothers, and their grandpa passes away. He's a freaking billionaire, and they all have to do certain tasks in order to complete the grandfather's will. Now there's, you know, little plot twists and fun things that occur in this book, and I'm assuming the next. I haven't read Terms and Conditions yet, but I cannot wait. But this book was so good. It's dual POV. The 2 characters are Rowan and Zara, and I don't think I've ever loved 2 characters so much. I was obsessed. So if you guys like Disney, I think you will love this book. It's spicy, it's entertaining, and dual POV. The 3 things that I look for in books, like, you have all of them here. So I'll read you the back just to convince you further. So first we have Rowan, and it says, I'm in the business of creating fairy tales, theme parks, production companies, 5-star hotels. Everything could be all mine if I renovated Dreamland. My initial idea of hiring Zara was good in theory, but then I kissed her. Things spiraled out of control once I texted her using an alias. By the time I realized where I went wrong, it was too late. People like me don't get happy endings, not when we're destined to ruin them. So that's Rowan's POV, and then we have Zara, and she's fantastic. So her little blurb says, after submitting a drunk proposal criticizing Dreamland's most expensive ride, I should have been fired. Instead, Rowan Kane offered me a dream job. The catch? I had to work for the most difficult boss I'd ever met. Rowan was rude and completely off limits, but my heart didn't care, at least not until I discovered his secret. It was time to teach the billionaire that money couldn't fix everything, especially not us. This book was so good. I cannot say it enough. You will be so fulfilled at the end of reading this book. There is an epilogue, and I think it's like an extended epilogue or something like that. Let's see what she calls it. Yeah, extended epilogue. So you basically get 2 epilogues in one book, and it's everything you could have ever asked for and more. So definitely check this book out. It was phenomenal, and I cannot wait to read more books by Lauren Asher. So this was a really good reading month for me. Every book got 5 stars except for the first one. That one was 4, but everything else was so freaking good. And I wanted to show you guys my current read, which will be my first read of March, hopefully, if I can finish this, because I'm only on page 6 and I'm already kind of struggling. Which is not a good sign. So my current read is The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. This is in third person, which just is not my favorite, but I know once I like get into it a little bit, I will be able to transition my brain into reading in third person and not first person, because that's the majority of what I read is first person. But I know so many people love this book. Like, this was absolutely viral on TikTok, and so many people love this book. So I really want to love this book, but I just have to read. I read the first 6 pages of the prologue last night and then I was too tired to continue reading. I also had a full day of craziness yesterday. So I'm reading this for a little book club that I'm in, and we're supposed to read it by Sunday, but I think we added a few new people, and I think we're going to be able to extend it a week, hopefully. I don't know. We'll see, because I'm moving tomorrow, and I don't know if I'm going to have time to read this by Sunday. She's pretty thick. She's like 352 pages, so that's what I'm reading right now. Let me know if you guys have read any of these books, what your thoughts are. What books did you read in February? What books are you reading in March? I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. I love you all so much. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!